One of the places that AI allows us to be creative is in AI image and music generation, and that's what we're going to talk about today. In front of you, you see a Google Doc of a bunch of resources that will do exactly what we're just talking about, that will create images for you, that will create music for you, and you'll also see some spaces in here where you could create AI videos. These are ever improving, really by the week. And so what I'm going to show you today is a snapshot of what a couple of these tools look like and what you can do with them. But it is important to be mindful that these do change pretty frequently. How many free images or music generations or video generations you get a day or a week or a month may be changing. So this is, again, just a snapshot of a couple that I thought might be helpful. Just get a feel for what you can do with some of these AI image and music generators. So this document, you could peruse and try out any of these, but I'm picking just a couple that I have a bit of experience with and things that, ones that I think might be helpful to get started. So from this list, the first thing we're going to look at is Adobe Firefly. Now from this main page, you can see it's asking us to describe an image we want to generate. So I'm going to grab a prompt that's kind of fun to work with, and I'll use that same prompt for all of them just so we can compare. So let me grab that prompt. Okay, so what I grabbed in this prompt was create a combination of favorite animal eating favorite food while doing favorite hobby at favorite location with favorite color sky. I left in the brackets so you could see what I was doing. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in now, but I wanted to show you where I started from just to give you some context. Okay, so here's where I ended up. Create a combination of a panda eating pasta while hiking at a nature center with a blue sky. That's a little bit of a silly thing, but it will give us something to start with. I also want to point out that with Adobe Firefly, you can see I've got a drop down here of an image or video. So some of these tools are starting to do both. Okay, so let's choose to generate. So what we'll get with Adobe Firefly is 4 images for us to take a look at. Those are pretty similar, actually. Sometimes there's more variation in the 4 of those. So let's look at a few other options we have with Adobe Firefly. Well, one thing to note is that we can change from what content type we want. So I chose photo, but we could switch it to art. If I did that, you can see down here, it's adding in a kind of filter for it or an additional component. If we scroll down a little bit, we can also see we can change some effects where we might want it to look more like digital art or a painting. We could change the color and tone and so on. So know that you have some stylistic options in here as well. I will leave this as is. You can play around with this a little bit. I should also mention you can upload an image if you want to use it as a reference. So if you kind of want that style or something like that, you can upload an image. So if I liked one of these for Adobe Firefly, you can choose to download it right here. And then you can choose where to download it to. So this ends up being a JPEG image. For this tool right now, the free option, you have 25 images per month. So take a look at this one. This one is one that I have found produces pretty good images. I don't know if I mentioned, as you add additional pieces, like let's say we also wanted this to be looks like a painting. As we add these, we need to regenerate. I'll go ahead and do that just so you can see some different options here. Okay, so that does give us a different kind of look and feel. We could also switch on movements or techniques and so on. So you'd have to play around a little bit. Remember, what it's giving us out is only as good as our prompt. So if we had a more detailed prompt, we would get different results as well. All right, so this is Adobe Firefly, worth checking out. All right, I moved on now to the tool Ideogram. This has long been one of my favorites. I think it does a good job with text. I think it does a good job with pretty realistic images. But under the free account, what I have right now is that we get 40 images per week. But again, this is a bit of a moving target and it's fluid. So this is where we are right now. So let me take my same prompt. All right, here's my panda eating pasta and so on. And we will see what it produces for us. When I pull up that prompt, you can see here I can make a few changes here. Aspect ratio, we can choose to change to whether we want it to be general or automatic or realistic, 3D and so on, anime. I'm going to leave it as auto and just let it fly here. All right, I'm going to hit generate. I'll also take a look at this. It is going to be public. All right, so let me go ahead and generate. Some of these, because we are under the free account, it will be a little bit of a wait. You can see up here we've got 21 seconds that we'll need to wait, and that's pretty typical for images. So we'll go ahead and, okay, it's 71 complete, 83% complete. I'll go ahead and pause and come back when this is fully done. Okay, so here it is. We're going to go ahead and pull this up where we can see our images. You can see some other things I've created in here as well. It's just my library, and that's always under creations over here. So let's say I like this one. There is also a download button right there where you can download your image. I'll go ahead and open that up a little bit. And you can see that we've got a prompt. This is our prompt, and they even have an option for a magic prompt. If you wanted it to be a bit of a stronger prompt, you could use theirs. Again, we've got some, we could remix it. We can do some other things with it if we wanted to. But once again, a couple different ways to download this. I showed you on the previous screen. There's also a download button right there. So easy to download. Ideogram is pretty solid. I feel like it's been pretty consistently good over the last year or so. The next one I want to show you is called FreePik. And this one is another one that's been around a while. Right now for FreePik, 10 AI-generated images a day is what I have. So I'm going to grab our prompt again and put it straight into here. We have got some style options here, right down here. Let's do, I don't know, let's do watercolor, see what that looks like. And we'll hit generate. All right, it is generating for us. Again, there might be a bit of a wait as we are using the free account. So I'll pause for just a second here. Okay, here are my 4 images. Pretty different, actually, because we also chose a different style. That's over here on the left here. We also have some effects and so on. Again, you can play with these. If you like any of these, you can choose to download right here with this button. You can also make this a bit bigger. The download button is right there. That one, different kind of pasta in that one. So FreePik is worth checking out as well. Again, you could dig quite a bit deeper into this, into the styles and things. I just want to show you kind of high level. Another one I want to show you is a brand new one by the company Padlet. If you're familiar with Padlet, they have something new out called PadletTA, and it has a lot of great tools in it. But for this one, I'm just going to focus on the AI image, which is over here on the right. I'm going to go ahead and click it. And I'm going to put in my same prompt that we've been working on, and let's see what it gives us. You hit this blue button here. Right now, this one is free. That could change. You don't even actually need an account to try this one out. But if you want to save your images, you might want to do that. Okay, here are my 4 panda images. These are easy to download right here in the lower right-hand corner. Lastly, I'll just mention that ChatGPT does create images as well. So we will go ahead and do this one more time. So does Gemini, and they're all going to be just a little bit different. But let's see what ChatGPT will give me today. Okay, here's our panda. He looks like a happy, kind of cartoony looking panda. I do think you get maybe more flexibility and a bit more of a variety of images in some of the others, but worth mentioning that as well. All right, to finish us up, let's turn our attention to a couple of music generation AI tools that I think are worth knowing about. The 2 from our big list that I would recommend are Suno and Udio. So we're going to start with Suno here, and I'm just going to show you the basics. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Again, as a reminder, all of these will take a Google sign-in to get started with them. Now within Suno, when you come here, you have 2 options. You can just describe a song. Maybe you're looking for something that's instrumental, or maybe you're just looking for something that talks about a topic. Or under custom, we can actually add our own lyrics here. So now you have both options. So to get a few lyrics here, I thought it might be fun to ask ChatGPT how to create some lyrics for me. So let me jump over to ChatGPT, and I chose an educational topic here. Write song lyrics about chemistry for high school students studying a periodic table. Be sure and include specific elements in the lyrics The lyrics should include a catchy chorus and meaningful verses that reflect the theme and are engaging for this audience. Keep the language simple and age appropriate. Okay, so let's just see what it gives us here. And we could use some of them. We don't have to use them all. But I think it might be interesting to break down content for students into music that might help them learn it a bit more. Okay, we've got quite a few here. That's pretty good, actually. Of course, double check everything and make sure we've got it. Now, this is kind of long, so let's just take part of it. Let's take... All right, we'll just take this and see if we can make a song out of it. So we'll come over to Suno here, and we'll put in our lyrics. And we can enter any style that we want. Let's put in, this should be appropriate for students in high school. I honestly don't know what it's going to do with that, but let's see what happens here. And let's create. Now, this may take it a minute to do so, so let's let it finish here. And we'll jump over to Udio for just a minute and show you this tool, which for this one, we're going to go into Create on the left-hand side here. All right, so we can describe our song up here. And we can click Custom here to write in our own lyrics. So let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and paste in our same lyrics that we had before. And then for my describe, I'll put in the same thing. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and come down here and choose to create. This will also take a second, so we'll jump back over to Suno and see how we're doing. Okay, it looks like we do have a couple of songs. Let's see how it did. So far, it's spot on. All right. Not bad. Let's just let it get to the chorus, and then I'll stop it. Okay, pretty good. This one's probably going to sound a little different. Let's try this one. Oh, yeah, it does. All right, you get the idea. These could be shared out by clicking this link right here. You can see it copied the song link to the clipboard. This can also be downloaded or moved to the trash if you don't want to keep it. So let's jump over to Udio and see what it did. Okay, it does look like we have two songs here. Looks like they are 32 seconds. We could choose to extend it here. So let's just hear a bit of this one. All right, that one sounds maybe a little bit too young. Let's try this one. Okay, it's doing it. I actually like what we got in Suno, but honestly, I've used Udio and I've really liked what I've gotten out of here. Actually, here's one that I actually did on the elements. So let's try this one. Okay, you get the idea. Just like any AI, you're going to get different things each time you do it. Just like in Suno, we can choose here to share it out, delete it, download it, and so on. So these are just two examples of tools you can use to create music. And maybe it's not something that you're using for educational purposes. Maybe you're just looking for a song about a topic again, or maybe it's just instrumental. But know that each of these can create music for you. So this has been an overview of just AI images and music and how to get in and experiment with them. And like anything else, it's practice, and it's just trying different tools and different prompts and seeing what you can get out of those. So just an overview. I encourage you to get in there and try a few and see what works best for you. Good luck.